It's a great privilege and pleasure to work in my current role as the Director of the PACE program at Macquarie. It stands for the acronym Professional and Community Engagement, and the program's all about giving you the chance to get practical experience as part and parcel of your study program here at Macquarie before you enter the workforce for the first time, or maybe for the second or third time for many of you. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about PACE. More importantly, I'm going to let some students who've gone through the PACE program and partners who've experienced the PACE program speak with you via video. And me and my staff will be outside to answer any questions you might have about what sort of PACE experiences might lie ahead of you. So, as I mentioned, the PACE program stands for Professional and Community Engagement. That's what it's all about. It's about ensuring that you have the opportunity as part of your study program to not just learn within these university walls, but also to apply that learning in real-world situations. The PACE program was introduced in 2012 as part of a really fundamental rethink of how we go about preparing students for the world of work, for the world of that the community demands these days. And we wanted to ensure that we were producing graduates that didn't just have depth in a particular discipline, as incredibly vital as that is, but people who also had a breadth of knowledge and also a breadth of capability. So we wanted to ensure that as Macquarie students, you're emerging from our institution as really ethically engaged local and global citizens who knew quite a lot about the social and environmental challenges that face us in society, who knew a huge amount in depth about a particular discipline, and also that you'd had really practical experience in applying that knowledge in real-world settings, not only for your benefit, but for the benefit for other people in the community. So that's what PACE is really about. It takes a huge range of forms. The number of forms is almost multiplying by the day. So there's more conventional internships where you go and work with a company or with a not-for-profit organisation or with a government department or a local council on a particular project, and that's a great way of engaging with PACE. There's also opportunities for not necessarily our students going off campus, but partners in the community, industry and government sectors coming on campus to engage with you in groups or individually and share with you some of the real-world business and organisational problems and case studies that they're facing, and get your advice and understanding and input into solving those problems. There's also opportunities to engage in PACE locally, regionally and internationally, and I'll talk a little bit about some of the opportunities that we have in the international space a little bit later. This year we were able to send a number of students from Janet's faculty actually, to the Tiwi Islands and also to a remote Indigenous community in Arnhem Land, where they were incredibly valued as prac teachers in those remote Indigenous communities. So there's a variety of ways in which you can get involved in PACE. So what's in it for students? As Jackson mentioned, it's been actually a really outstanding time for me as a learner and a teacher in this institution to engage with students through PACE units and to see the sort of benefits it has for them and for their learning. And so what I'm doing here on this slide is just reporting the sort of things that students regularly say to me about what they get out of the PACE experience. I won't read through the dot points. You're incredibly apt students, you're people with great reading ability, I'm sure. But the sort of comments that students make are not just, I hear them from the school leavers, but also from people like yourselves, people who've perhaps sitting in another career at the moment but thinking that you need a change and you'd like to come back to uni and perhaps take a new direction, or perhaps you've spent quite a bit of time out of the workforce caring for your children, for your parents, for significant others, or for other reasons you've been out of the world of work or study and you're ready to come back now. Or perhaps you've just had a fantastic gap year with lots of amazing and probably not so amazing experiences too, and you're really ready to come back and knuckle down and get back to the books and see what uni holds for you. These are the sort of students that I've had the pleasure of teaching and learning from in PACE units, and these are the sort of things that they say that they get out of the experience. I guess I meet a lot of people who are employers in the community sector, in the industry sector, in government, and what they quite consistently say to me is that they're not just looking for people who graduate with uni with a strong depth of knowledge in their particular discipline. They expect that. They expect you to have a good body of knowledge and to be able to think. But they're also looking for people who have broader social and personal and interpersonal capabilities. And I think that's really attested to by the quote I have here from one of our PACE partners, who actually works in a very significant international marketing company. So employers are really looking for people who out of programs like PACE that really build those greater those not only cognitive capabilities but the broader personal ones as well. So, as I mentioned, I'm not going to tell you all about PACE. I'm going to let some of our students and our partners do the talking.
My name's Stephen Miller from Microsoft Australia. We had Ronan Chandler work for us for the last 12 months. Ronan was an intern in my team, which is the Business Operations and Planning team.
I am the Business Planning Analyst for the Marketing Department at Microsoft, and it basically involved me looking after the day-to-day management of the budget and also helping the marketers in day-to-day operations, as well as helping out with the financial planning for the new financial year.
He's been an incredibly impressive intern for us in Microsoft Australia. What's really impressed me and why we've continued to support the PACE programme is the fact that they come in so ready to perform corporate tasks, that they are so able to do some of the demands that happen on a day-to-day basis in a corporate life.
I was able to work out exactly what we were going to be doing for the next 12 months and liaise with a lot of managers and executives and really got my name across the entire business.
He has to deal with 100 marketers across Microsoft Australia on any given day. He also looks after all of the samples, all of the software that we would give out to enterprises and consumers on a daily basis.
I was able to take part in the Windows 8 launch. I was able to demo Xbox to all these customers. I was able to go to a conference and take part in seeing what customers see of Microsoft and being able to talk with them and liaise with them and really get to know the company from all different sides.
The feedback that I get from all of those stakeholders is nothing short of incredibly impressive, and Ronan should be very, very proud of that. But I think it speaks testaments to the PACE programme and how they are able to really talk to a large number of corporate stakeholders, some of which have extensive experience in the corporate landscape. And that's really been one of the most impressive parts of how we think about the PACE programme and why it's an important part of our recruitment strategy. The fact that PACE is an ongoing programme gives us confidence that when we're bringing in interns, we know that they're of a capability standard. When we think about hiring, PACE programme participants have a track record that makes it incredibly attractive to us and something that makes us want to partner more with that programme and Macquarie University in the future.
Next week I'll be starting as a graduate in the graduate program, which is a 2-year course with Microsoft, and I'll also be going over the States for a global Microsoft conference where I'll get upskilled by all these executives from around the world. It's really, really crucial to get that kind of practical experience outside of what you do, because it really kind of shapes up and rounds up everything that you learn at uni.
I would definitely recommend that other organisations look at PACE graduates or PACE programme participants as part of their organisation's intern programme. The reason I say that is the readiness that they bring to the role.
I would definitely recommend doing the PACE unit at uni. It's a really good way to round off your experience through your studies and also getting practical experience in the workforce. The structured learning that I got through the PACE unit, along with my practical application through Microsoft, really helped me get from an intern into a fully fledged grad in one of the biggest companies in the world.
So from Microsoft's point of view, the PACE programme is definitely not your traditional practical experience.
So Ronan's now employed with Microsoft, and we have a range of different organisations that we work with, as I mentioned before. A lot of them are big companies like Microsoft, but we have in total over 1,200 different partners in the community. About 50 or 60% of them are in the corporate sector, but we also partner with a large range of not-for-profit organisations, community-based organisations, and also government organisations. So if Microsoft isn't just your thing, maybe you're a Mac user like myself, or maybe you're just not interested in the corporate career, well, there's other options for you, many other options for you through PACE as well. So there's two different ways in which you can get involved in PACE. It might be through your specific discipline of study, that your particular field that you're choosing to major in as part of your studies at Macquarie, or it may be that you want to get involved in one of our PACE projects that has students from a range of different disciplines working together in teams. And that's a great experience as well, because you learn so much from each other. This is just a tiny slice of some of the different types of projects that students have done through the PACE program to date. This year alone, we've got about 4,000 students who've been involved in different projects, real-world projects, with partners in the community. And in total, since the program started in 2012, we've had, I totted it up this week actually, over 9,000 students involved. 9,000 students making an extraordinary contribution to the community, and the community making an extraordinary contribution to our students' learning. So there's quite a few projects listed there, and there's many more that me and my staff can tell you about, and we can tailor our advice to the particular degree that you're going to be planning to study. There's also the opportunity to not just get engaged in PACE on campus, locally or regionally. We also have been partnering with Australian Volunteers International, the very large volunteering agency, to offer a wonderful program that provides opportunities for students to conduct their PACE activity in a range of countries in the Latin American, Asia and Pacific region. We're particularly working there with community partners that are really working deeply rooted into their local communities, working on projects that meet their community priorities. And so we've had to date about 500 students contribute through that program, and I think that all of them would say that the contribution that has been made to their learning has been absolutely phenomenal. Not only their learning, but in fact it's changed a lot of people's thoughts about what sort of direction they'd like to take in their lives. And I guess that's some feedback that I hear not just from students who've been through the international part of PACE, but also students who've been involved in a variety of local and regional projects as well. So, what options are there for you? Well, the PACE program is becoming embedded. Eventually it'll be part and parcel of every single Macquarie degree. By the time you're studying with us, I hope, next year in 2015, PACE will be part of the study program of about 80% of our students. That is, you'll be doing a PACE unit as a regular part component of your degree. There's also the opportunity to choose PACE subjects as electives. So if you choose a particular program that doesn't yet have a PACE unit in it, for one thing, it almost definitely will by the time that you've finished your studies, but there's also a range of electives that you can choose from. So that's about all I wanted to say. If you've got any questions, as I said, me and my staff would be absolutely delighted to answer them tonight, or you can also contact us by email through the web. Thanks very much.